Welcome back, everyone. Wow, like I said earlier, I'm really happy you're my audience, and I know to the glory of God, you are doing wonderfully well. So, the last time we worked, we learned about the name and the icon section, and we will learn everything that has to do with it. But now we'll be learning about the general section. The general section. So, let's quickly dive into it. So we won't take too much time. Okay, now the general section. Now, what is the general section? What's it talking about? Now, the general section is just pointing to every section of your app. Every section, every section from the beginning of your app to the end of your app. Everything that has to do with text, write-ups, and everything that makes your app, that defines your app, is the general section. Now, if I change this language to French, every write-up in my app will change to French. Are you getting that? So since I speak English, let me just leave it there so that I won't cause confusion for myself. Now, your app description, like we saw earlier in the setup wizard, your app description is your words, your personal app. Now, I've given the description of this app. Please give your own personal description. Now, I just wrote type your own personal app description here, or extensively describe your app and its function. So that is what you just need to do. Sorry, this description spelling is very wrong. Very wrong. Let me correct it. Okay, now it's corrected. So you just describe your app, tell them about your app. You can say, oh, this app is designed to to teach you or to show you latest African men fashion. You get it? So you just tell them everything about your app. You know the kind of app you are developing, you know the reason for your app, you know the motive behind your app development. So just feel free to express yourself in your app description. Okay, now the next thing we need to look at is show notes about updates. Show notes about updates. Now let me click this question mark and read what's there. Now it says if this option is enabled when a change is made in the name and icon section, that was what we did last, users are automatically notified or to update the app. Are you getting that? Now when you change the picture of your app, or you change anything that has to do with your app, and it is a major change, are you getting that? This section, once you enable it to be yes, it will tell your user that this app has been modified. It will advise them to download the app again. Are you getting that? Because most times the app will automatically update itself. You get it? But once a major change has been introduced into your app, like you change the icon, or you change the name of the app, or you change the version of the app, or you change the code of the app. You know, the last code we saw, the last version we saw was 4, and the upper version was 9.8. But if the version, maybe you change it to 10 points, it will advise them to update the app. And that's not difficult. They just have to just go back to Play Store, or they just have to click update button if it's going to generate it for them. Are you getting that? So the app will automatically be updated. You know, just sometimes we update our WhatsApp app when it has expired. So that is how it's going to function. So it's just telling you that it's a professional setting. Now this option does that. I'm reading the second point now. This option doesn't affect to content update, as for example modify or add a section. Now when you add a section to your app, it doesn't change anything. The person doesn't need to update the app. It will just automatically update itself. Are you getting that? But when you change anything in the name and the icon setting, the person might need to update his app. But the wonderful thing about it is that when you change it, it will change. If 1 million people are using your app, it will change in those 1 million people at once, simultaneously, once they update the app. So you don't need to start thinking, how will you update? No, just relax, it has been settled. Now the last point say if the app is published in Google Play Store, we recommend disable this option. Now if you have already placed your app on Google Play Store, then it's advisable to press no. because it will automatically update itself. Are you getting that? But if you've not sent your app on Google Play Store, maybe because you don't really have the money to pay for Google Play Store, because for you to have a license to put your app on Google Play Store, you need to pay nothing. You need to pay $25, and that payment is just once for a lifetime. You don't pay it twice. You pay it just once, and you can publish billions of apps on Play Store. And seriously, Play Store has a very good traffic. Nothing less than 5 billion people visit Play Store. Are you getting that? I think per year. Not less than 5 billion people visit Play Store per year or per month. You understand? So it's a serious traffic. It's a serious traffic. So if your app is on Play Store, just make it no. But if it is not on Play Store, just make it yes. You might ask a question and say, oh, my app is not on Play Store, then how can I make money with it? How do I have people to download my app? Don't worry, I will explain that in the later part of this course. Okay, so I'm leaving it as yes because this app is not on Play Store. Now, access password. If you want to secure this app and you don't want people to view it anyhow, you don't want people to have access to it, maybe it's your private app, you can just add a password. Are you getting that? Or you want people to pay for the app, and you want to be the one to generate password for them. Are you getting that? You just add your own password and lock it. So anybody that is downloading the app, we have to call you, or we have to speak to you to give them the app, to give them the password. Then you can tell them to pay this also amount or whatever you want for them to see the password. Are you getting that? Now, ask for confirmation to exit. Now, this is very, very sorry for that. Sorry, I really apologize for that. Now, this is very, very important. Like now, when you want to exit some app, it will ask you, do you really want to exit? That is the reason for this option. Once you press yes, if anybody wants to leave your app, it will always ask them a question, do you want to exit this app? So when the person says yes, it exits. But when this option is no, once the person just press backspace once you press backspace on your app, it will just close the app automatically. And sincerely, that is not professional. It's just like an app that is not responsive. Are you getting? I mean, when they say somebody is not responsible, they are trying to say the person can do anything as he likes. He's not, doesn't care. So your app should not be an app that should be seen as irresponsible. So it should be responsive. You understand? Now keep always screen on. Now keep always screen on. When you turn this option to be yes, just as it is yes now, it means that when your app is functioning, the screen will not go off. The light of your screen will not go off. And it's really a wonderful option. It's not nice when somebody is working on your app and the screen just go off. You get it? So it will always be on, showing that your app is active. So I want it, for me it's yes. But if you want to save the person's battery, you can just press no, so that when the person is not using it, the app will just go off. The screen will just go off. But I want the screen to always be on, so the person will always, and the reason why I want the screen to be on, so that why the person will always be glued to my app. It makes them glued to your app. Are you getting that? And when the more time they spend on your app, the tendency you make more money on your app. Now, show app icon in notifications. Now, in notifications, your icon will be shown, which means that once they click the notification, they will see your app icon, showing that the notification is from your own personal app, and it's like giving your app a brand and a good touch. So for me, I want it to be yes and not no. I don't want it to be no. I don't want it to be no. I want it to be yes. So this modification will not apply until user access to app. Yes, it's only when you access your app, that is when they will see the app icon. Yes, we want them to access our app. Now, block access from rooted device. Now let's read this. It's a rooted device can be used to access to the app even if the user has been banned. Now, rooted device, these are devices that they have changed the core processors of this kind of device. So many things have been changed about the device, and some devices have been rooted to some extent. They are not really legal, they are not really permitted. So for your app for you to create a good standard for your app, it's advisable to leave it as no and not yes. When it is yes, it will be installed on rooted device. You get it? Device that have been worked on, they've changed the normal function of those kind of phones and apps. You understand? Technical people will understand what I'm trying to say, but if you don't understand, don't worry, just leave it as no. Our we are trying to deal with something more classic here. Now, access to app. Now, if you want people to access your app, how do you want them to access? Is it sign up? Without sign up, all users can access. Now, access without sign up. With sign up open to all, you say all user can access but have to enter their information. Now, with sign up and only invitation. Now, the meaning of all this is that when you put it without sign up, it means that anybody can just use your app. They don't need to sign up, they don't need to do anything. They just download your app and it will begin to work for them. So sincerely, if you really want to generate traffic, you get it, just leave it as without sign up with your app, because you don't really need their information. But if you need their information, just put in with sign up. Are you getting that? And it should be open to all, which means that anybody can sign up, but they need to sign up with their name, email, or whatever you want them to sign up with. Are you getting that? But if you now say sign up only with invitation, which means that you have to generate some kind of code for them, you have to give them some kind of invitation. Nobody can just sign up to your website, to your app rather. The next one say with sign up only with access request. Only with what? Access request. You get what I'm trying to say? Now, you say users have to sign up and you have to approve them. So when you say sign up with access request, it means that when they sign up, you have to, it is only when you approve them that they can really be able to use your app. And this is very, very special if your app is giving a service that is not meant for all. Are you getting that? And it also helps to secure your app from corrupt people that just want to post pornography and other kind of things. So when you check their content and you see that their content might not be good for your app, you disapprove their sign up and they will never have access to the app again. Now the last one says with sign up only with invitation or access request. You say it is a combination of the previous two. So when they have invitation, maybe they have a code from you. Are you getting that? They can sign up, and they also have an access request. They can what? Sign up. Okay, now I just tap the with sign up only with invitation. Are you getting that? So here you can type login type. Maybe they need to use their Google email or Facebook. They will anyone. Or the profile image. So for them to put their profile image, they need to put their profile image. You know, when you want to sign up for Facebook, they will tell you to put your profile image, your birthday, optional, but you can make it compulsory. You can make it compulsory. You can make it required. When I mean compulsory, it means required. But gender, whether male or female, you can make it required, which means that they must put it there. Description, just leave it at optional. It's not compulsory. But for me, because of the case of this app, you can always walk through it and just play with it. Let me leave it without sign up, so that I won't have too many things to work on. Now, privacy and policy. Now, app creator has really done a good job to give you a good privacy and policy. Are you getting that? But if you want a special privacy and policy, there are organizations that can help you compose that. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Well, you need to pay some level of amount, maybe $5 or $10, or you can get some of them for free. But app creator has really done a good job. You can read all these things and you will see what I'm saying. That app creator have really done a good job when it comes to privacy and policy. Now that gives your app a standard and that gives your app a rule. So anybody using your app that breaks this rule will be liable to be kicked out if your app is designed to take information and to render services. Are you getting apps like Google has privacy and policy? So when you break their rules, they kick you out. Facebook also have a rule. When you break their rule, they can block your account. So that is privacy and policy. So for me, I think I'm okay with what they've done. I don't need to change anything. Okay, I'm really happy again, sincerely, that we've gotten to the end of this section, and I know it's promising to be better off. It's really, really promising to be better off. So if there's anything I need to tell you that I've not opened up to you, in the next class, I will really, really dish that out, because I don't want to keep any information away from you. I don't want to keep any information away from you. Okay, what I even wanted to say is this, is that I noticed so many app users and website users don't like to read the privacy and policy information. Please, I beg you, just cultivate the habit to always read privacy and policy settings. The reason is because there are some network or websites you should never offend. Why? Because they have the ability to wreck you. Website like Google can be very, very merciless, or can be very, very brutal or harsh if you break their privacy and policy information. Now, if you have money in your backend Google backend account, because one of the ways we'll be monetizing our app is that we'll be partnering with Google directly. So you need to read their privacy and policy so that you won't break their rules. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I've fallen prey of that. I didn't read their privacy and policy. I was so eager to just be a partner with Google so that I can just begin to make money with Google and be a very, very wealthy partner with Google. And I just quickly signed up, and boom, I started making mistakes, and they suspended my account with the money in the back end. Sincerely, I won't lie to you. It might sound funny to you. It's not funny. It can be funny, but I know it's not funny. I had to go and beg God, God, please help me to beg Google to leave my money, because I can't afford to lose such amount to some extent. So please read their privacy and policy settings so that you will not be suspended or you will not be blocked. And when they block your account, everything you've worked for, the money there is gone. Is gone. And sincerely, it won't be a wonderful thing. It won't be a nice thing that you work day and night trying to develop apps and that generated good income, and somebody somewhere just stand on it. So please, let's cultivate the habit of reading website privacy and policy. It's not a waste of time, sincerely. It's just saving you errors in the future. God bless you, and I really appreciate the fact you stayed to this time. See you in the next lesson. Bye bye. Let's save. Okay, we've saved. So bye bye.